Welcome back to everyone, and hope you're all keeping well. And I've got the cheap heater that I bought a few weeks ago set up here outside. Unfortunately tonight I'm losing the light. The nights do start to drop in so quickly now, but I've got it set up, and so I thought I'd start this video off and then see on, obviously you'll see it as a whole, and when I put the video up there sometime tomorrow I'll reset it up again and try and get it running. I've had a better look at it now, and you know, I mean, £75 like I said it was, it does, you know, parts of it do look incredulously cheap. The wiring loom looks okay, and the plugs there, if you can see, the plugs there, they seem to fit in okay, and they seem to do the, you know, I'm sure they'll do the job okay. Likewise, it's a total clone of an Eberspacher or a Webasto, how that is, how the plugs there are, and that's the pump, and that's the pump plug to take the power to the pump. This came with just a very basic little controller down there that also plugs into the loom on another kind of different socket. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and I even see that we get a basic fuse holder and socket there with a blade fuse in there, which is so, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, I'm not sure I shall ever fit this on my boats. I don't know about that. I haven't made that decision yet. And one or two people have commented, you know, well, you know, it's a cheap Chinese heater. Sure, I fully appreciate that. And one other two people said that, you know, well, there's loads of stuff out there on YouTube on these already. Well, okay, yeah, fair enough, I'm sure there is. But this is my take. This is what I think of it. This is a totally independent look and review. Like I said, I bought this out of my own pocket. So I was purely, and it's basically, more than anything else, for my own interest, because like I mentioned before, just a quick recap, I had an Eberspacher D2 air heater on a small boat, which was fantastic, one of the best things I ever fitted on this boat, but after about 18 months the pump failed, the pulse fuel pump failed. And with the postage on the pump and buying a new pump from a reputable Eberspacher dealer, that sole pump costs more than this whole kit. So, you know, I'm trying to emphasise that. So just for a quick recap, over there is our 12-volt power supply. That's a power supply out of an old computer, so that's given us 12-volt DC. At quite a high amperage that they'll the old, if you ever want to build one of them, there's plenty of YouTube videos of people showing you how to build a 12-volt power supply, I'll get it out in a minute, off an old laptop, not off a desktop. What am I talking about? So that's the power supply. There's the fuse there, can you see that's the fuse? It has got a fuse. Then it's just a matter of plugging it in. I mean, the little basic controller has a plug off the loom. The main loom comes up here and plugs together into the heater. We have the fuel pump there, the fuel pump which has got the clipped 12-volt power supply, which is also into the loom. And then basically we're ready for action. As I say, we've joined all the loom together. We've just basically put the exhaust and the air intake on there onto the heater, and we'll have a fire up and see what happens. So we press the on. I presume the heater will go through its venting cycle. Yes, no, you can hear that. It's very windy out here today, my apologies. You can probably hear that the fan has come on, which is a good sign. The pump is now clicking away nicely, so hopefully that should start supplying fuel. And I believe the heater, I can smell just a little waft of smoke there. The heater has now fired up, hopefully, and I can see the fuel pulsing along. I did prime the pump to get the fuel to the line. If you want to look at one of my Webasto water heater diesel water, one of my videos on my Webasto water heater, I do talk about how it's always best to prime the pump, pulse the pump with a 12 volt supply, so the heater is lighting up, making one or two strange noises, but this is the first run. So, and even Eberspacher's they are rather noisy, these diesel heaters. You know, you can't get away from that fact. Even the Webasto Eberspacher, yeah, they are noisy. I mean, you do get a silencer in this kit to try and keep the exhaust noise down a little bit. You know, you can always hear them running on narrowboats and boats. So now we're gaining momentum a bit. They're always a bit like the space shuttle taking off. Slight, perhaps over-exaggeration that is, but they are tremendously noisy. It's the one problem with them. And obviously, in a part of a boat, they can echo. Even that pulse pump can echo. You know, it's now coming on to rain as well, so I think we're going to make this have to cut this video to quite a short little video, but the heater is running. As I say, we're getting nice warm air out there now, so we're getting really up to temperature, and as I say, I think it is going to rain, so I shall have to, but it works. There we go. That's our fuel supply over there, so there's our pump. That's our 12 volt. Yes, it's getting really warm by the exhaust now, and there's some really lovely hot air coming out by my hand there. Obviously that's where you put your trunk in to take the hot air. So yeah, I mean, early indications, obviously I will give it another try, probably in better weather, but it seems to be working fine. Very easy to wire up, very straightforward. Just a matter of plugging the plugs in the right location, which is pretty much self-explanatory because they won't fit in any other way, and connecting up your 12 volt power supply and your fuel supply, and off it goes. So there we go, that's the cheap I think it was £77 Chinese diesel-fired heater for your boat, car, lorry or whatever. And I have to say, at the moment in time, I don't know how long it would last, or, you know, what the reliability rate of it is, or anything like that at the moment. But straight out the box, connected up, it seems to work pretty well, I have to say. And as I say, there we go, that's the pump, and the pump is priming well. The pump, you know, it, as I said before in my other video on this, when I unboxed it, I paid more than this whole kit just for a replacement Eberspacher pump like that. I think with the postage, it was way over £77. So I bought the heater, the whole lot, for the price of an Eberspacher pump. But, you know, obviously, I realise there's a lot more to things than that. You know, there's reliability and issues like that. But there we go, it's up and running. It's running very well. We've got lots of warm air coming out. It is coming on to rain now, so I'm going to hit the off button. And we should, the pump has stopped or slowed right down. The pump has now virtually stopped clicking, you'll hear. The heater is slowing down. The heater, you must never cut the power off to these immediately. You must let them go through their cooling down cycle, which can take 2 to 3 minutes. So never turn the battery or power supply off to the heater when you've pressed the off button on your controller, and it'll cool down on its cycle, and I'm quite impressed with that. As I say, reliability and that kind of issues have to be looked at, you know, and I realise it's a very cheap unit, so there we go. Well, thank you as always for watching. Sorry that was a bit brief. As I say, I had to come on a very heavy shower, and so I had to get it all packed away very quickly. I might have another look at it and do another run of it. Whether I make a video about that, we'll see in time. And I'll let you know in future videos what I do with it if I decide to put it on the boat. Obviously, like I've said before, it'll need to come up to the boat safety standards. It'd have to have copper fuel pipe feed being used on an inland boat in the UK, but that's minor issues. I have to say it was very easy to set up. All the contacts clipped together very well. As you can see, that was a genuine first start. I had primed and made sure there was fuel, diesel fuel, the length of the fuel line. That is very important on the startup of these heaters. I find you want to make sure you've got fuel all the way in the pipe to the heater on the initial startup, and it lit up and it ran, you know, for a good few minutes, and it seemed okay, very efficient, very much like an Eberspacher, which it is cloned basically to the D2. So there we go. Thanks ever so much for watching as always. My apologies, the videos are a bit thin on the ground at the moment. Obviously life has been somewhat difficult this year, I have to say, but that's by the by. I love getting your comments or any questions, and please like, subscribe, and I will see you hopefully very soon in another video. And thanks as always for watching, and bye for now anyway. Bye.